Do you know what the most dangerous mistake in relationships is? It's not cheating, it's not arguing, it's not even people moving away. In my opinion, the most dangerous mistake happens long before all that. That's the moment when you start to keep quiet about things that hurt you, just to avoid losing someone. And believe me, that's when you slowly start to lose yourself. What I've noticed in my life is that most people don't lose relationships overnight. Relationships break up slowly. One unspoken thing, one disappointment, one not important, and then another, and so on for months or years. In the end, you don't even know when everything went downhill. That's why I think the biggest problem isn't the big conflicts. The problem is the little things that get swept under the rug for years. From a young age, we're taught to be polite, not to cause problems, to keep quiet so as not to hurt someone, but no one teaches us what happens when we constantly suppress our feelings. At first, you think you're preserving the relationship, but in reality, you're slowly building a wall between yourself and the other person, because no one can solve a problem they don't even know exists. In my opinion, one of the biggest misconceptions is believing that people will understand what you need on their own. How many times have you said, if they really knew me, they should know? But people don't read minds, not even the ones who love you. If you don't say what's hurting you, the other person often thinks everything is fine, and then one day, an explosion happens. Not because of one situation, but because of 100 little things that were never said. Another thing I see all the time, people want to preserve the relationship so much that they lose their own identity. They stop saying what they think. They stop doing what they love. They stop making the decisions they would make if they were alone, all to please the other person. Honestly, I don't think any relationship is worth it, because a relationship that requires you to lose yourself is not a healthy relationship. That doesn't mean you shouldn't compromise. Of course you should. Every quality relationship requires understanding, but compromise is not the same as giving up your own personality. Compromise means that both parties adapt. If only one person always adapts, it's no longer a compromise. It's an imbalance. And such relationships rarely stay healthy for long. One thing I've learned is that people often stay in bad relationships out of fear. Fear of loneliness, fear of change, fear of not finding a better one. But ask yourself this, is it worse to be alone, or to be surrounded by people who make you feel lonely? To me, the answer is clear. Loneliness among people hurts a lot more. The same goes for friendships. Not everyone who has been in your life for a long time is someone you should stay in. Some were important for a while. But people change, priorities change, and that's normal. What's not normal is staying in relationships that drain you just because they've lasted a long time. Time is not a measure of quality. Behavior is. Another thing I rarely hear people say, respect is more important than liking. Someone can love you, but if they don't respect your time, your boundaries, your opinions, that relationship will sooner or later become a problem. Love without respect is hard to survive. Friendship without respect is no different, and business relationships without respect end the same way. In my opinion, respect is the foundation of everything. If you want better relationships, don't look for better people first. First, become a person who can communicate clearly, who can say no, who can tell when something is wrong, who can listen to the other side, and who respects herself as much as she respects others. Because quality relationships don't happen by accident. They are built with honesty, with trust, and with healthy boundaries. Finally, I want you to remember one sentence. The most dangerous mistake in relationships is not arguing. The most dangerous mistake is when you stay silent for so long that one day you have nothing left to say. Don't wait for a relationship to break down to start telling the truth. Speak up while there's still a chance for things to improve. If you've ever kept quiet about something important just to avoid losing someone, write in the comments, "I'm not silent anymore." I wonder how many of us learned this lesson the hard way. If you like these brutal truths about relationships, life, money, and mental strength, leave a like. Share this video with someone who could benefit from this message. Subscribe because we don't tell you what you want to hear here. We tell you what can change your way of thinking.